Welcome to Season 3 of Sunday Conversations. Thank you for your continued support. Get ready as we embark on this year's journey of great content. Sit back, enjoy, and delight yourself with these conversations.
So I turned down the ROTC assignment that I really wanted. That was like my dream assignment. And that was at LA Tech. And I was like, man, this is perfect. I'm going to be at a university. This is what I wanted. But it wasn't the right time. And then it was the one in Colorado. I was like, oh man, this is perfect. It's another one. It's another one, you know. But, you know, and this one was different because at this point, I relinquished all control of trying to figure this thing out for myself. I said, God, wherever you send me, whatever you have for me, I'm trusting in you. I know that you got me. The next day, my assignment dropped. The assignment dropped the next day, and it was
God was saying, okay, well, since you said it, let me give it to you.
San Antonio, Texas. And I like, my heart dropped because I was like, out of all the places that we could go, that was the one place where Elise was like, I'm never going back to Texas. I'm never, because of lack, like, because of my basic trainings, which I don't think is fair, but that was her whole MO. I don't care where we go, but I don't want to go back to Texas. Texas was horrible.
No, exactly where you're going, because I've been to that base several times.
And I'm like, okay. So my heart dropped. I'm sitting in the office, and I'm like, man,
how can I tell her this?
How am I going? I said, okay, God, I know I said that wherever you send me, I'm going to be okay. But you got a sense of humor, because the fact that you put me in the one place that I know is going to be conflict, I said, okay. So I had to get up get out the office, and I was walking. I was like, okay, God, okay. I had to go back and look at it again just to double check, just to make sure. Okay, is this where I'm really going? Okay. And then I said, okay, I locked in, and I called Elise. I said, hey, I got some news. It's time for us to go. And she said, where? And I said, San Antonio, Texas. And she said, and I was waiting. I was like bracing for it. I was like, And she said, okay. And I was like,
that meant that God had already prepared her.
She was like, okay. She was like, when do we leave? And that's when we kind of got into it. And so it's been a ride so far. But I know that I keep saying this, but God has already made provisions for us to go.
That is correct.
So everything that I had worried about or stressed about has already been taken care of. And I know that this assignment is an assignment that I need to go on, that I have to go on, and I'm ready to go. Like, okay. I'm a miss. I guess it's more of a comfort zone at this point, because LWC3 is all I know.
Yes,
that's all I know. That's the foundation. So I think for me leaving, it's an opportunity for me to say, okay, I've sat here for 7 years. Now let me really show what I've learned.
So
walk this thing out.
When you say LWC3 is the foundation, break that down for people that don't know, because some people know that your dad is a pastor, and your stepdad is a pastor.
I come from and
your grandparents are pastors,
cousins on both sides.
So, matter of fact, that's grandparents on both sides. Yes, that's right.
This is something that I never thought in a million years that I would be preaching or any capacity of church except for just showing up on Sunday. But when I came in 2016, Pastor John Unk, he started the groundwork of just giving me bits and pieces of different things. You say, hey, just take the scripture and just tell me what you think. just look at it. I'll never forget. It was Psalms 119 or 105, and I'll never forget it. And it was a simple scripture, and I interpreted it. I gave it back to him. He said, okay, good. That's exactly what I thought you was going to say. Good job. All right, I got another one for you. And he just kept giving me scripture after another. And then we had men's fellowship. And then he said, all right, I want you to teach. And I'm like, wait a minute. What are we doing? I don't want to teach. And then what I noticed, and the reason why I say this is a foundation, is that started to build my confidence in, one, getting into the word, because I had to know what I was doing when I was teaching, but it also correlated to my job. It correlated to me being confident and walking into the office and being able to articulate and move a certain way that I never thought I would move before. So it really, I was growing up from a professional standpoint through the ministry. And then that one time he told me, he said, "Hey, I see you as the minister." And I said, "No, you don't. You don't see me as this. I don't see myself here."
I remember when you said that. He's like, "No, you don't.
No, you don't. This is not me."
Matter of fact, I'm going to say, were we in like Sunday morning school of the Bible?
We were leaving church. Church was over with.
It's okay.
And I said, "Nah, this ain't me." And because again, family on both sides minister, they teach, they preach, they pastors. My wife's parents are ministers and pastors, and so like it's just in the family. And I've always kind of been a resistant to it because I didn't think I was qualified to be able to do that. And so to be in a position now over the years and just continue to grow and from my first sermon to my second to different things going on in my life that has helped me grow, and then to understand, this is the part that was important for me, seeing the realness of people who teach the word, who learn the word, and who go through things and are not so self-righteous that they can't say, "Hey, I messed up." Like that part, like that made the difference for me. Seeing people, real people who love God, who believe in God, but they got some stuff that they dealing with. And I was like, okay, I don't have to be perfect. I don't have to have this all figured out. I just got to trust God and let him just use me.
Right.
And through that process, that has been, my biggest or the greatest gift that I could ever receive from pastors and every single one of you guys that have been here. Like I got to just soak up so much information. Years of just experience through people's experiences with churches and military and all those things. Like I'm leaving here with so much information that it's like there's no way I can fail, in a sense where I can reach back to some people and say, "Hey, I got a question. Hey, I'm dealing with this. Hey, have you ever been in this situation before? This is where I'm at right now, and I know I'm going to get quality information to help me grow."
That's right. I can definitely agree with you about being in the right assignment. There's only one assignment that I really had that God spoke to me clear as day, as the voice that I know God is, or the voice that I hear God to be. He was like, "Your next assignment is Augusta, Georgia." And my wife wasn't on board at that time, and because she wasn't on board, I chose another assignment. Man, when you know that the assignment that you are on is the wrong assignment, everything looked peaches and creams when it first started, but then when the trials come and the tribulation come, that's what you got to fight through. And man, it is. I can honestly say that was one time that I was like, I do not like being here, even though I made the best of it. But it was like, I do not like being here, because I know what God said. God said, "Go here," Right. So you are very on point when you talk about making sure that the assignment is the one that God wants you to go on, because when you do go there, every single provision that's made for you, it's already there. The only thing you got to do is just walk in and trust God, and just wake up in the morning and say, "God, order my steps for the day."
Yeah.
And that definitely has to be the prayer every morning, because then once you start ordering your steps, then you're gonna follow right in the path that he wants you to go, and then that next promotion will come just like that. And then things that you didn't think of would also be coming as well. That's why I call this place is my blessed place. And it's quite interesting, because when I interviewed for jobs, I said that the job that I'm currently in, the only reason that I'm leaving is because that my organization is relocating. If my organization was not relocating, then I'll still be there. But I have to be obedient to what God told me. And God said that this is where I am to be right here at this time. And then when I've gotten hired, they've said, you don't know the reason why that you got hired. It's like, no, why? Because you spoke your truth. You spoke the truth about the organization that you were currently leaving and how that you didn't want to leave it, but you had to leave it. And so because the fact you were honest in that, we said that that's somebody we want on our team. And I think that we have to put God first in our position in life. We have to put God first in all things, because when we get out of his will, when we get out of his perfect will, and then things don't quite go the way that they need to go. And I can definitely say that being in God's perfect will is the best place to be, even though we can be in his permissive will, but being in that perfect will is the best place to be. Are the boys going to continue to play football? Because look, this flag football thing that you just started on IG, man, look, I'll be looking forward to the videos.
Man, they it's crazy because, you know, Zeke and Zay, well, Zaya, he played, and he I give Zaya credit. He gave me one good season. He said, I'll play. And I was so proud because,
but he did that break though.
He
did that break.
Yeah.
That was like,
for Xavier. Yeah.
Yes, for Xavier.
Yeah,
when he did that break, I was like, whoa.
Like I'm excited for them. They're excited about the move. They want to play tackle so bad, and I'm like, nah, not right now. Only because I don't want to force them into that arena just yet.
Mm-hmm.
Eventually they'll play.
But not force them, because it'd be their choice, right?
Yeah, well, they want to play now. That's what I'm saying. But I want to get them acclimated to the heat, the competition, because the competition is going to be different.
Totally different.
So instead of playing 5-on-5, we're going to move up to do 7-on-7. And that league is a little bit more intense. A little bit more athletes, more, kids are just as athletic as they are. And
then at home, you're going to hit them a couple times at the house to let them know that this is how you're going to get it now.
Yeah, oh yeah. So that's what I'm saying. So we get down there because they'll be down right when the season starts, and I'm like, that's not enough time to get you prepared for tackle football in Texas. No,
right?
No, we're gonna take
they bigger, they heavier.
The boys is, and I mean Zeke's tall,
and some of them have started down here.
And them boys been hitting since they came out the womb. So I'm like, this ain't. I don't want to run them off. I think flag football and the 7-on-7 league is perfect for building skills, and you don't have to worry
the
about
foundational portion.
Yeah, it's perfect.
Look, I was watching the video and took off. And he threw his head back like this and started running. I was laughing. It was like, why are you running with his head back like that?
I gotta humble him sometimes. So I'll make the videos and I'll show them to him, but I won't show him I let him see if maybe 1 or 2 spins, and that's it. Stop looking at the videos, because they be walking around the house like, you saw what I did to so and so. I'm like, man, calm it down.
You gotta show them the Coach Carter a movie when after he taught them all the plays and they went and blew the fella, like, you saw what I did? And Coach Carter went in and I shut him down. Yeah.
I gotta keep them humble, but they enjoy it. The one thing I told them this Saturday, I said, man, I could care less about the touchdowns and all this stuff. What I really love about what they're doing right now is they are really good teammates.
Mm-hmm. Yes, they are.
They really they cheer on the other kids. They wrap their arms around them. That's the stuff that I like being a good teammate, being coachable. That stuff makes me proud. That's the stuff that I look for. I could care less about how many touchdowns they score. I mean, the highlights is cool, but the way that they are humble, like the coach say, hey, I need you to go do this. Most kids be like, I don't want to go do that, but they'll be like, all right, I'll do whatever you need me to do. So that's the part that means the most to me. So
great.
So you're excited.
That is awesome.
Yeah,
that is awesome. Well, Alex, I'm gonna tell you, man, look, you definitely gonna be missed, man. I know I said
be virtual.
Yes, I know, man. But but just like that, we talked. We started in person, and then we went to virtual, and then both of us like, man, it's something about just feeding off each other, and when we can feed off each other, it's just fire. Yes, when we are virtual, we can sit behind a desk. We can have all our notes in front of us, and you don't ever see the notes. Right. Yeah, we could do it. That's funny. You remember we used to tape the notes up.
I've been looking like this, but yeah,
y'all gotta excuse me because we going back to our humble beginnings, where is that we used to tape our notes up to the camera. They'll be they were in line straight down to the floor, and you guys just didn't know it.
So far, I was like, I couldn't even see it.
And we would be looking at the camera, but we're reading our notes.
I was like, what's the next one?
Okay. That was the beginning right there. That was funny. But man, definitely, man, you could be missed. And as I told you on a Sunday, man, look, having my, I can officially call you my little brother now. Having my little brother that has been here, that over these 3 years that we've built a tight bond, and we can just laugh at each other. And then not only is my bond with him, but it's also with Elise too. So I'm gonna miss seeing my buddy sitting over in the corner, and I can look back and she be like,
yeah,
So look, I'm gonna miss that now. I'm gonna miss our crazy conversations. I'm gonna miss our jokes and our laughter. But like, and she be like, you know what? You're right. You're right. But I'm not messing with you today.
Yeah.
I'm gonna miss that, man. And then Abram come, and then he about to roll out.
Yeah.
So man, but I'm definitely gonna miss you, man, and I know that Sunday Conversations is gonna miss the in studio version of you, because it's a whole vibe, and you got your biggest fan over there sitting behind the control room.
Shout out to Saveda. That's the one thing that I love. When she come in, I'm like, she gonna get me right. She gonna get us both right. Because if we don't look right, she be like, sit up, fix your shirt, your belly poking out. Yeah, got you. All right, I got it.
Hey, you can't see them right now. You can't even see them right now.
You be in the background. And I remember too when we first started, she'd be like, listen, man, I got homework to do. Y'all over here bothering me, man. What do you want me to do? Hurry up so I can get back to my homework. And you gotta hit the button. And I remember one time she hit the button and we was gone, but we forgot to talk about the mic. And the mic didn't play. So we talked for like an hour. And we didn't have no sound. And we had to go back and do it all over again. I was like, man. And that was a good conversation, too. That was really good.
That is the hardest thing to do, is to emulate an awesome conversation. Do you know how many times that has happened? Mm-hmm. Okay. In our pre-record days. Pastor has taught a whole message on Sunday. I mean, we've pre-recorded an entire message. Mm-hmm. We've pre-recorded a Sunday service. We did praise and worship and pastor's teaching, and we did a Wednesday. It's several times it happened. Listen here. In our pre-record times during COVID, to do an entire service from beginning to end, and to get to the end of that joker and have realized that we had no sound.
Oh my gosh.
It's like
the emotional, like, just drain.
It's like what? Are you serious? No sound. It wasn't, not a single drop of sound. So on times that when you guys saw the replays of messages, a couple times it was because of the fact that the message that was taught had no sound.
Like, what? Like, did something go wrong? Did I miss something?
Hey, but then I didn't. But at first I was feeling really bad. Because I'm a perfectionist when it comes to this, and you already know. Yeah. I'm a perfectionist when it comes to this. But then when I started seeing the professionals miss it, look, I stopped feeling bad. Then I ain't gonna kid you not. man, whenever I watch the news, or I'll be seeing live, or when something is happening live, and I'll see them mess up, and then it's funny part because I notice it now, and then other folks miss it. Like, yeah, you missed that, did you?
Yeah, and it's crazy now because like it was Tony Sunday, he was like, "Man, Pastor be moving." I was like, "I told you," and I just be sitting there just like this.
Hey, matter of fact, shout out to Minister Tony.
Yeah.
Because 2 Sundays ago, because by the time you see this portion, it'll be 2 Sundays ago. 2 Sundays ago, it was the very first time we had people on all 3 cameras. And if you remember, if you go back and watch Sunday service, that was May the 27th, 28th. What day is? The day is 30th. So yeah, the 28th. So Sunday the 28th, when you watch the service and you start seeing all 3 cameras move, that was our very first time having
that was smooth
people on all 3 cameras, and it made me feel so good in the moment of having someone on all 3 cameras
and being able to flow
being able to flow. And it does not give the stationary look. I'm sorry, y'all. Look, we telling all our secrets now, but it's all good. But the stationary look, because some people just haven't come back to service yet. Let's just be honest with it, okay? Some people just haven't come back to a service. But Minister Tony, hey, I appreciate you, man. A shout out to you for coming back there and say, hey, let me jump on this camera. And just for that moment, you got to feel what we feel when Pastor B want to run. But it's all good. So any final comments for your I'm not going to say the final. This is just a pause.
Yeah.
For your pause of being in studio live. Any final words that you want to give our viewers? Or that you missed that you did not get to say, or on a Sunday?
I just want to say thank you, bro.
You're welcome.
I just want to say thank you. Thank you for bringing me into this and allowing me to just be a fly on the wall and just watch the growth. Not just with Sunday Conversations, but even with the production from a media standpoint at church. When you see people who used to go and they come back and they say, oh snap, like they, cameras and all these things happening, is a byproduct of your commitment to the vision. And seeing that take place has been just an honor to watch you work behind the scenes, could care less about the credit, and you are so willing to give out the information to let other people shine or let other people be a part of the process. Like that in itself has been the greatest thing for me, is to be a part of not just LWC3 vision, but your vision too. The vision that you have for moving your ministry forward and into the next level. Like I said, it gave me confidence in a way that I didn't think I had, because I'm like, I can see you. If you can do it, if my bro can do it, I know I can do it. And all it takes is just being committed and diligent to the work. You made it so simple. I know it wasn't simple. I know it was hard. I know you was probably frustrated, but the simplicity of the work was you laid it all out, and it's simply, you got to put the work in. So thank you. I'm excited to see this go to a whole nother level. I'm gonna arrogantly say that I was a part of it from the beginning.
You laid the foundation.
I was there.
You laid the foundation.
I was there, and you see these podcasts and these media outlets that are thriving on YouTube and different in different outlets, and you're right up there with them. And I know that it's just a matter of time when that click hits, and it's just gonna catch on like wildfire. And the great part about it is you are already set and in position to go. And so I'm so excited to see your growth in this. I'm excited to still be a part of it, even though it's gonna be virtually. but whatever you need from me, just because I'm 22 hours away, you let me know, and I'm gonna do my best to make it happen.
Definitely, and I definitely say I never forget when you said, "You doing all this by yourself?" What? I think I got sick. Was when you realized how much I was really doing.
Yeah.
I got sick, for almost 2 years I was doing everything by myself. Guys got to realize this. I was running the camera, the video switcher, and the audio mix all by myself in one hand.
Yeah.
Like the iPad was in this hand, I'm controlling everything, and I got the camera, and I'm trying to put up past
And everybody complaining, like, why is it going this way?
Why is it going this way? Because there's one person trying to do everything by himself. So, when I got sick and you came on board and said, hey, how do I do that? And I think I talked you through it too. Mm-hmm. And you was like, you was doing all this by yourself? I was like, yeah. Man, you made it seem so easy. I said, it took practice. Mm-hmm. It took the trial and error. So I definitely want to thank you for coming on our board to give the assistance, and you willingly did it. And I will be honest, when it first started, I would get frustrated because I'm like, I know these jokers. I know that these jokers, if I was saying, I know these jokers sitting here, see me back here by myself and won't even offer a hand. At first, I was getting mad. And I said, God, you know what? I have to have the spirit of my pastor when it comes to this. I don't want nobody to come back here and help me that don't want to do it themselves. Because they come back out of me asking them, then there'll be complaints with it, and there won't be no consistency with it. So help me to have the spirit of our pastor, is that if you see a need and you want to do it, go do it. Right. But I should not have to ask you to fulfill something that you see that there's a void in there. Right. So I definitely want to thank you for coming in, because it was a tremendous help. It actually allowed me to breathe. And what a lot of people don't know is that I refuse to go places because the ministry was my focus. If I had something scheduled and the ministry needed me, I canceled what I was scheduled, and I was here for the ministry. And I'm not saying that to brag or anything. It's just that at the time of where we were, it was where I needed to be. And I'm just thankful to God that He gave me the insight, right, and the heart and the consistency, the ability to research, learn, and to learn it quick. Right. I'm just thankful to God, because I give God the glory for all that, because the amount of stuff that's in his brain right now, is just crazy. Right. So, hey, I want to thank everybody for watching Sunday Conversations. You just got to see us have a very candid, brotherly conversation about where we started to where we are now. And until this pause of Alex being live in our studio with me, his presence is definitely going to be missed live, but you will definitely continue to see him virtually. So I hope that something that was said today was life-changing and life-altering for you, especially when it came to the parable of the grass and our soul when it comes to God. But if it is, leave a comment below, share and like the content. And if there's any topic that you want us to discuss, or that you would like for us to talk about, or that you have questions about, leave a comment, and we would definitely build content to actually talk about that topic. Until then, come back next week. We will continue to have a fire topic here on Sunday Conversation. Until then, I'm your boy Ike, and I'm out. Peace. Thank you for watching Sunday Conversations. Remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on Facebook. We look forward to seeing you next week as we continue to bring you relevant content. Remember, God has a purpose and a plan for your life. Live life